Morning guys and Gayettes, how are you? Hope you're all okay this morning. Just a quick update on the Gulf Wars group build. The Abrams is now, let's say, 98%, 99% complete construction wise. The turret, which on this Tusk kit is obviously the more complicated of the construction, with all the protection and armour and the guns and everything that and the arret tiles, tiles is it? Arret tiles, sorry. And a couple of other things that I've added to the build, which I'll show you in a minute. It's a Tamiya kit, so as we all say, it just falls together. It's been nice. There's not been, let me just have a think, there's not been any massive, in fact there's been non-fit issues. The only problems I've had is obviously my little boy nicking off with the gun shaft, the gun, well, it was called the muzzle in olden days, I suppose, with the RDS on the top of it. But other than that, it's been great. I've kit bashed it with the Meng Cougar and the the Ryefield Abrams with the full interior, which I'll show you in a minute. And I've also added a few extra bits of stowage and that, which again I'll show you. We'll start with the figures. The figures have mostly, apart from one or two now, been filled where they've needed to be. Let's get a little pokey device, shall we? Let's get one of these. So the figures have been filled where they've needed to be, and sanded and that, and seam lines all gone on the legs and wherever else they are, on all of the figures now. I've added these cocktail sticks into the foot or into wherever it's a bit easier and won't be seen, to help with painting and that. There's just one, or I think there's about three that I just need to do, just add a couple of cocktail sticks too, but they were the ones that didn't need any cleaning up or filling, that I just didn't get around to doing last night. So they are all done and ready to go for paint and primer and then paint, sorry. The wheels have all been done, and I've added, mixed them up with the colours. So there's a couple that are the full black, because of obviously doing it with the NATO paint scheme, and then obviously the odd couple of bits that have got the sand in. In these, I don't know for you guys that don't know, but the Abrams, the wheels, there's the middle nut there on the real Abrams is actually clear and see-through, and it's so the crew can see if the wheels have got the the right, and the vehicle's got the right amount of oil still in it. So obviously they can check. Now the Ryefield kit supplies you with clear parts for the nuts there, which is a nice touch. Obviously this one, I mean, what I shall do is when I go around and do the detail painting, I shall paint these black, or sort of an off black, and then add a bit of like sort of oil colouring to it, for like the MIG oil spills stuff or whatever to it, just to make it look a bit more realistic. The only colour wheel I haven't done is the green, because I'd already done the wheels and I just couldn't be bothered to get it all out and sort it again. What I've used to paint these with is what most other guys use nowadays, but I could not find one for ages. It's just one of these stencils. Now, I've been after one of these for absolutely ages and whatever else. Anyway, I've tried for, because obviously having to hold this and that, I was trying to think for ages how I could do it, but also do like several at a time, so it make it a bit quicker. So what I do is I basically get double-sided sticky tape now, which I don't know, this is my tip of my video, I suppose. But most of you guys will be saying I've been doing that for years. So I stick the double-sided sticky tape over it, and then I just get me X-Acto blade or my Stanley knife, whatever you want to call it, and just pierce it and then go through and cut it off. And then, if needs be, I shall go around and just sand, you know, just to get rid of the excess like little bits that stick out that could affect your painting, I suppose. Also, as well, it's still quite sticky, so that'll be good for another build. So yeah, that's my little tip anyway. I mean, obviously a few of you probably already do that anyway, or probably most of you already do that anyway, but that's my little tip for today, for the video anyway. So yeah, that's the wheels. One thing that I've been doing on the wheels, which I've found quite good. Now, I always use my go-to colour, which is XF85, which is rubber and black, or I use the excuse me guys a minute, I might knock the camera a little bit here. I've got to be careful because it's being supported by this tyres and track set. I use the AMIG 033, which is the rubber and tyres colour. Now, if I've used the Tamiya one, the rubber black, the XF85, which is one of my favourite ever colours, it's brilliant, so I mainly use that. What I do is, because of obviously it being rubber, and obviously they will dry out and that, and you will get bits of chipping, I use this colour, the rubber and tyres, or vice versa, whichever one I've used, and do like, you get the sponge, you know, your sponge chipping technique on the end of whatever, or you use your pliers to hold the sponge, or whatever, your fingers, it's easier, and then I chip it, and it makes it look a bit more realistic. Now, the kit I've done it on, which I thought did work quite well, was the one of my last Armour builds. I think it was the KV1, the Tamiya kit. But before it was weathered and that, it did look really, really good. And after looking at some research pictures and that, it looked really good, and it seemed quite good, realistic. So there's another little tip. I'm full of them this morning. Get me? So yeah. I mean, obviously I know a lot of the time the tracks are around there, or if you've got the shears and on, or side skirts or whatever, you're probably not going to see it a lot of the time. But if you're going to take it to a competition and you want, you know, these judges are going to be like checking this type of stuff, you know, and having a good eye for detail, then, you know, it's just a quite handy little thing to perhaps try and do, and it does work. It does work. So I'm quite happy with that one. Just checking the camera because it moves slightly then. If it suddenly falls off, then I apologise. I'll have to stop it and do it again. But anyway, so yeah, so there's that one. Right, while we're on that subject, down there, we might as well go on to the tracks. The tracks are these, I love them, but I know a lot of the modelling community hate them. These rubber band tracks, well, I absolutely love them. And these, and I know the Tamiya ones are either crap or good. These are actually quite good. The only downside is there's a few ejector pin locks just on the inside, but obviously if you pull them around for your build, and of course this has got the error tiles on the sides, skirts and everything, so you're not going to see 100%. You can try and pull them around so that obviously the wheels are like sort of sitting on the bits where the, you know, the ejector pin marks are. Again, another little tip I've got. Now, usually I always use my Panzer AC's 304, which is the track primer, and then I always tend to use my other favourite black colour, which I don't know if I've got it here to hand. Just have a quick look. Which is, I have XF84, which is dark iron. So of course it makes the tracks look a fairly black metallic colour, and then I sort of, you know, where obviously the bits of metal are, and on the guide, the guide horns, you know, the pins and that. I dry brush the bits of silver or gunmetal or whatever you use, and then it's done that way. So of course, you know, primer, base coat, and then extra whatever else. Anyway, I thought on this build, because I've given myself such a lot to do, as in kits and figures and whatever else, what I thought I will do is try and save a bit of time. Now, with the Abrams, obviously, the majority of these in the middle are well, all of them are rubber pads, and then you've got your guide horns and your pins, which are all the metallic colour. So I thought to myself, it's all going to get sprayed matte anyway, so the shiny colour at the end is going to go. I looked at them and I thought, you know what, there's no need to base coat them and prime them and everything else, because the rubber as well, and what my next tip is, will score them anyway, so washes and all that type of stuff will stick down onto them anyway, because I'm going to gloss coat it, you know, matte coat it anyway. So what I did is I wanted to make these look like the pads look a bit worn, so I simply got my sander and just went to work, simply down like that each side until they looked, I don't know if you can see very well, but they are quite sort of, let's just move this light a second, let's see if they are quite worn, and they look quite worn now and scratched, so, and it's got rid of the shininess on the pads. So now, thinking about it now as I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking the wash may not stick too well, but that's not 100%, I'm not 100% bothered about that, because it's in Iraq, so it's dusty. So the main thing I'm going to be using really is like stuff like, you know, these, like the light dust deposits, which will fit in between anyway and dry, and then you can just brush them or whatever else, or you can use your go-to pigment fixer and then stick your dust pigments in between and whatever else, and or you know, your thinners to stick your pigments down, you know. So anyway, it was just I mean, you might all be thinking it's a load of crap, a load of rubbish tip, to be honest, which it probably is, but it's just something I found I'm going to try different, and it just, you know, saves it, I suppose, a lot of faffing around, base coating, priming, base coating, blah 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 and all that. So I'll see how it goes. I mean, it might be completely rubbish, but excuse me guys, morning coffee, you know, it might be complete rubbish, but on the other hand it might not be, so let's give it a go. And this is, of course, this hobby is all about learning, isn't it, and trying new stuff, so I'll let you know how that goes. All the extra little bits of stowage are sort of being done as we speak. The ammo carts and crates and drinks containers and all these bits, they need cleaning up a bit more, whatever else. I've nicked the air purifier, is it, off the back of the Ryefield Abrams. I'm not going to stick this down because I might still want it for when I eventually book myself up to be able to do that and finish that in the Ryefield full interior Abrams off. So I might stick that on, but it has got this Tusk version has got this, which is I think it's same sort of thing, some sort of air purifier thing. I mean, you know, but it is, you know, the guns have been done as well. What I've done is I've hollowed out the gun barrels and everything else on the guns, because they're very, especially this one. Is it 7.62, whatever it is. It's a very tedious job to do, because obviously it's such a small barrel. So I was either going to use the old heat the pin method up and stab it, but I always tend to sort of get a bit wonky and then miss and it goes out. So I just basically got my pin vise and used the smaller of the drill bits and stuck it in and did it a little bit. The sight on the top is a clear see-through part, so I've masked off the edges, the ends, so obviously it'll all get primed and ready and done, so, and then eventually I can unpick the masking, and then obviously that comes out. So that's that done. Again, I've done the same with the 50 cal, is it? That's been done, and the 50 cal on the front of the barrel, on the front of the turret, sorry, I've used the Ryefield one I had spare in that kit, which was a beautiful one. It was like 3 or 4 pieces to put together, and it's, oh, you'll see in a minute. But some of this stowage as well is Ryefield spare stowage I had, so that's been saved. So yeah, let's shall we go and have a look at the actual vehicle itself. Okay, so here she is. Again, no fit issues, absolutely beautiful kit. No fit issues whatsoever. Obviously the side skirts are all stuck on by blue tack at this moment in time. Don't know if you can see, but I've super detailed a little bit there with the wire to the 50 cal at the front. This is the Ryefield one. I've masked off the front lens of the light there. I've managed to nick the front bit off the Ryefield barrel for this, but I still could do with another one. The sort of toe bar here at the front is actually, I've just clicked it on into place because that's going to be sand colour eventually, so that's going to be sand, just to break the colours up a little bit more. I don't know if you can see here, but like I say, I've added a wire which is on my research pictures and in my books that I use for my research, which are again that one and the Images of War books. They all have, they show you some good clear pictures, so I've just added a bit of detail, the wire there, and I've also, these aren't stuck down, these loader and the commander and gunner hatches, but I've actually stuck onto the commander's search light. Don't know if you can see there, I've added a bit of wire there, which is true. There is wire that goes there, and there's also where the 50 cal goes onto here. There's another wire there which I will add to go onto there, and also on to the smaller machine gun on the loader's machine gun. There's a wire there, so that'll be done. Also, you guys, Sarge Bones especially, who's obviously ex, I don't want to say, you know, ex US military, and Bradley driver and Abrams and whatever else. Can you just tell me whether or not these here, Sarge, I don't know if you can see, or anybody else in the know, there's 2 little sort of joystick sort of handles here. Now I'm guessing, there's nothing I can find in research anywhere, but I'm guessing that if they're obviously manning the machine guns, does that control the turret from there? So obviously they can turn and that while they're up or not, I'm not sure, which I'm guessing it does. I've drilled out the smoke grenades here, and I've added some extra sprue, which I'm quite chuffed with, and sort of used and sanded it down and added that, and they'll get painted as well, but I'm quite chuffed with that. You know, the SIP panels have been added. In this kit there's no photo etch, but I had some spare from the Ryefield kit, so I've added it onto the rear basket there. I've added a IED detection rod, lamp, whatever you want to call it, there on the back, which I was, you know, I've scratch built sort of from some old sprue, and that these aerials, instead of stretching sprue like it tells you in the kit, I've cut the ends down onto the mounts, which are obviously here now, and I've added the spare ones I've got from the main Cougar, which are quite nice, because on a lot of the research pictures I have, they have the little bolt ends at the top, so that's quite nice. I am going to add a water bottle onto one or two of them, I'm not sure yet. I might add it onto both of them, but I've got some Meng water bottles which I'm going to add to the figures, a couple of figures, and into the back of the Men's Bradley as well, and I'm going to attach one onto there, because a lot of these kit, I did note some research pictures do have some on the aerials. These machine guns, I should have said earlier, a lot of I've said in the figures, a lot of the figures, especially the Navy SEAL, came with an old M16, which is more sort of like, instead of one of the newer sort of M16s, and I ordered this extra kit, these extra parts from Fog Models, which is the M16s, different M16s, and basically I'm going to add a couple of these to the figures that haven't got the guns, the figures that are on rest as well, lying down, sitting on his rucksack. They don't have machine guns, so I'm either going to leave these in the back of the Bradley as though they've left them there, or I'm going to just lie them next to them, or especially the one that's drinking his water bottle and looking at the map, I'm going to have it on his lap, I think. And then one of these I'm also going to have, because I've noticed on a few of the research pictures, I'm either going to have it on the Bradley or the Abrams. On the Abrams there's a good picture of one that's actually stuck on top like that of the commander's hatch, but the only thing I'm thinking is the picture I'm displaying on me, see, none of this is stuck down, so the obviously scenery I'm trying to depict is the commander is actually here, sort of somewhere talking to a couple of other crew members of the Bradley and another soldier. So would he really, even though he's got his sidearm on his leg, would he leave it there when it's in wartime? Possibly. I mean, obviously people do and whatever else, so yeah, or would he take it with him? So I don't know about that. The loader is actually going to be here still in this hatch, so I'm not sure yet, or I might just leave that, or I might put it in the Bradley one, so I don't know, but I do quite like that where it's been stuck, you know, on the hatch. I do quite like that with the vision blocks on the CITV and the vision block, you know, the commander's vision there, and here I haven't done the clear parts, but I'm going to use, it's typical, I've had it on here all flaming week, and because I want to show you it's gone. I've got some reflective card. What time are we on? Right, I've got some reflective card which I'll show you. I've been using this for a long time because it's very good, and again it's a bit of a time saver as well. You can get it from any Tesco stores. That's where I usually get mine. It comes in all these different colours and it's quite thick. And now all the Abrams are usually red because it's anti-laser reflective stuff. So I shall do that, and then the sort of CITV and the commander's vision there, it says to paint that one smoke and that one sort of blackish, but I'm actually going to use the Alcalad Lacquer's Armour glass colour, which Bees kindly sent me last year sometime, and I haven't had a chance to use yet. So I'm going to use that just for something different, bit of different aspect to the kit, I suppose. Anything else, guys? Oh yeah, I'm going to add, because there is tow ropes, but obviously you can't see them that well, so I've not put them on. I'm going to add I'm going to rust it up, and I'm going to add this chain across the tow hooks at the back. And the one mistake I found is the smoke grenade launchers should be a tiny bit higher, because obviously if they set off they're going to hit the armour here, but apart from that it's great. Really enjoyed this kit, it's beautiful and it's great stuff. Hope you all guys out there are all well and building kits. Some fantastic builds I'm keeping up with. Dunhill, if you check his channel out, he's been doing a leopard at the minute. Sorry to hear about your family, mate, and if you do come over to Stoke from sunny Germany, please get in touch and we'll have to meet up. It'd be nice to meet you. I am sorry to hear about your granny, but hopefully all will be well in the end for that. So yeah, guys, hope you all stay safe, hope you're all well, and just one quick shout out. Can you guys please check out Steve Jones, his new channel? Well, I say new channel, he's doing a Tamiya Flakvierling half track, and it's absolutely brilliant, and his work is outstanding. It's just Steve Jones, but you need to check him out, guys, because he really is top notch. His builds they really are fantastic. Hello Lars, Ingeborg and Lene, hope you're all well over there in Denmark. Beautiful weather here in sunny England at the minute. Can't wait to see, Lars, your future builds and your getting craft rad finished off. That'll be good. And I will do another video soon and a few more shout outs. I've got a few more to send out, but yeah, that's the first one. Matt Hill Models, check him out. You've got to have a quick look at him. He's got some brilliant stuff. But yeah, Matt will get in touch soon and sort these group builds out. Anyway, guys, all stay safe. Hope you're all well. And may the force be with you.